Welcome back to CFN Live. Animals are companions that bring us unconditional love, comfort, and support. And it's that therapeutic experience that sparked the creation of Paws of War, a foundation that trains and provides service dogs to our hero troops, veterans, and first responders.
These pups are hard at work.
Touch, yes. Touch, yes. Good touching. Sit.
Training to become service dogs. They're part of Paws of War, an organization that pairs rescue dogs with veterans and first responders. Ralph Paracelli was recently matched up with Skip.
I met Skip and it was like, I felt his energy. I just said, I didn't think of any chance I could maybe get to know this dog better. And yeah, it's been great. I'm blown away by this place, what these guys do and the mission they're on and the kindness and conviction everybody has, the whole team. I've got to know a lot of the people on the team so far.
So for me, this is about paying it forward. When I see a veteran who has issues and I really want to get to their heart one dog at a time, I teach to the veteran's requirement. That's what I was hired to do. So the classroom works for basic foundation, because if you have a strong foundation, you can build a strong house on it. And then when you do the little one-on-one moments, when you take the dog off to the side and you're showing the veteran exactly how can this dog help you? Why does this dog want to look away from you? I need this dog to pay attention to your need.
Paws of War co-founder Robert Messeri says there is a great need for animals to help veterans.
Unfortunately, we see 22 veterans a day take their lives, 22 a day. And so that's why when we get a phone call or an application, we act on it immediately. But for a lot of these veterans, life is their enemy. They don't want to continue each day. They can't, they struggle.
That's where the dogs from Paws of War come in.
Because we know it's working. So these dogs are really making a tremendous impact in these veterans' lives. All of our dogs are rescued either from kill shelters, puppy mills, backyard breeders, you name it. There's always some horrible situation that they're coming out of and then they come to us. And there's always a veteran that's struggling or an active service member who just came back and is struggling. We initially get a phone call from either a mental health specialist, a family member. Very, very, very rarely is it the individual themselves. They just don't reach out. And then we have to make a decision. Do we have the right animal for that person? Is that person ready right now? And when they are, we bond them together and then we start our process. So once that process, that initial bond starts, when they're approved, they have a dog, we start to see, part of our program is getting them out. They have to come to training. They have to go out to a field. They have to start working with other veterans. And before you know it, their life starts to unwind in a good way. And we get phone calls. I love it when I get a phone call from a family member that they can't believe that this is their family's back in a certain way, or he's actually letting us, go out to a mall together, or something that, they didn't do in years.
Look, Grace, look. Yes, Daddy loves Grace. Daddy loves Grace. Pretty girl, pretty girl.
Marine veteran Robert Emprimo says he was saved by his dog Grace. Robert served from 1993 to 97 and ever since suffers extreme PTSD, hypervigilance, and anxiety. The father of three says it consumed every aspect of his life.
It was dark, and I feel bad my family had to endure that.
During his struggles, Robert turned to his faith, and that's how he got connected to Paws of War and Grace.
The whole time that was happening, I'm doing the consecration of St. Joseph. And one aspect of the consecration is you get a statue asleep in St. Joseph and you put your petition underneath the statue. So I put my petition under there. I always wanted a service dog. And I put that under there. And doors began to open for me after I did this consecration. And my sister-in-law was involved with someone that raises money for Paws of War here and heard about my case and said, let's get him a dog. And here I am, and I don't think it's an accident at all that her name is Grace. I didn't give her that name, you know, so I'm very grateful to God and for the whole experience, the journey, you know. It's been interesting, and I'm very happy with the results. I couldn't have planned it any better, you know. But that's God. He's perfect in his own time, you know. It's not when we want it. It's when he decides it's appropriate and necessary, and you know. So that's how she came to me, and it's just been amazing. You know, she's just such a mush. She just loves to be petted. She'll hang out with me all day. I go in the other room, she'll follow me in the other room. She's always checking on me. She has alerts, so when I get anxious, I have a devotion to St. Benedict and St. Joseph, and if I get anxious and I break out the coin, right? Sometimes she'll come up, right? And she can redirect me. And so that way I don't get focused on, you know, people coming and going. Whatever it is that makes me nervous, you know. That's just something I do. I'm dedicated to St. Joseph, St. Benedict, and she redirects me when she sees that come out. She says, hey, I'm right here, pet me, look at me, focus on me. So she's really amazing in that sense. Couldn't be more grateful.
Robert and Grace recently graduated from service training, but he says he still wants to be involved with Paws of War, and he's not the only one.
A big part of why our veterans love to come back every week for training, even when after they graduate, they come back here. Why? Because they feel safe. There's other veterans here. The other veterans are going through or did go through the same thing they went through. They know the door is always open to them, and all the services that we provide are always for free. Everything that leaves here or anything we do, there is never a cost to any of our veterans.
Paws of War is not only touching the lives of veterans and first responders, but also everyone that is involved in the organization.
It's probably one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done in my life. Paws of War has changed me and blessed me by helping these veterans one dog at a time, both sides of the leash.
The more people can know about Paws of War, the better, you know, because this place, you know, needs all and should have all the recognition in the world.
And if you or someone you know is in need of a service dog or companion animal, you can contact Paws of War by going to their website, pawsofwar.org. Now back to Colleen.